What's going on, guys? Mancheese here again. Just going to bring you another short video to go over patch notes. Going to be doing this every time patches roll around, so keep an eye out. The goal of these patch notes overview is to really take it and view it from a ADC perspective or a hunter perspective, and try to bring you up to date, keep you up to date on what I think is going to go around it and possibly changing the meta and what's going to happen in terms of ADCs. But I will go over all the patch notes to make sure all that information's out there and all that good stuff. So let's get started. So this patch note is called Alien Attacks, drops September 22nd, exciting. So it looks like new God skin, Galactic Invader Upwash, looks pretty cool, excited for that. Should be good. Hornbeal Capri, I don't really like it, but some people do. I don't play support, so I guess. Voice pack for Upwash, announcer pack for Nux, hopefully cool. Hopefully they made a little bit of some new announcer lines because everyone seems to be using the swag new one. Ravana Wave and Clap, pretty standard. Fenrir price at 50 gems using Ragnarok portrait. Just a little icon in the corner. New Ward's UFO Ward. It's kind of cool because it comes with the Galactic Invader for 2 weeks, which is sort of awesome. So if you pick up the skin, you'll therefore get the ward. So it's cool. Updated God cards. I really enjoy this On Her one. I think they did a really good job on it. It's finally time the Olympian one got a new one. It's my favorite skin on her. I like it more than the other one they implemented. So that's super awesome. The new Ares ones look cool. The new Artemis one also looks good. Alienware Rye I don't really like, but that's just a personal preference. And the Vamana. In terms of the miscellaneous stuff, 10 new God achievements. Don't know what they are, but they'll just be basic achievements. New privacy options, so pretty much you can hide your elo and hide certain stats if you don't want things like Smite Guru to get a hold of them and stuff like that. So that is possible. Conquest tutorial, they fixed that. And message for administrators will not go in your system notifications, no biggie there. So the first and probably the biggest change, at least to the meta as a whole, will be this blink change right here. So pretty much the idea of what's going to happen to blink is the cooldown of tier 1's getting increased by 60 seconds. And it now triggers cooldown timer upon taking damage. It will show you exactly when you're going to come out of combat, which is cool. But the increase in terms of 60 seconds is really going to hurt a lot of junglers, so you're probably going to see Blink fall out of the meta now. Gods like Serket, who blink in, do all their damage, and then use their escape, can no longer do that. If you're using to jump to go into a fight and you get caught, you're probably going to get turned on blown up as Serket. Blink still may be purchased, but only use it again in 150 seconds. You lose a lot of gank potential in that regard. Has a big cooldown. So I think Blink is going to truly fall out of the meta. Improve Blink, again, cooldown increased by 50 seconds. Excuse me, time to get a combat increased. Creative Blink, increased cooldown again by 25 seconds, excuse me. You no longer get the movement speed buff, which I don't think was a big deal to begin with. Still 5 seconds to get out of combat. Now the big change for hunters in terms of this patch will just be Deathbringer. Pretty much it reduces the critical strike damage you get from crits from 50% to 40%. So let's say you hit your critting for 100 damage. Once you pick up Deathbringer, you would generally do 50% more damage, so you'd therefore be critting for 150 damage instead of 100. Now it's just be hitting for 140 damage. If you bring up math, even if you scale to 400, it's still not going to be a huge nerf. Deathbringer still will be your last item if you're building against squishies. So in terms of hunter builds, if you go back to my last meta video, for hunters in terms of builds, then everything is pretty much the same in that regard. God changes. Athena, fixed shield wall getting destroyed by Gold Fury in some cases. Cool, I guess. It's actually a big bug. I guess your shield wall will go at you and do damage. I never noticed it, but I don't play Athena enough. Bacchus now pushes minions back while firing. This is actually quite a big buff for Bacchus. It sort of reminds me of the Sylvanas auto attacks. It's good for Bacchus because you can push minions to keep them off going into your tower if you're holding them in a lane for your ADC. Or if you just want to try and keep gold, if you're getting it pressured. Guan Yu and passive techs include boosts for dealing damage. Khepri has a big change in terms of its ultimate. People were getting really annoyed by it. They felt it was a little too strong, I believe. So executes are no longer blocked by this ability. So in other words, if Ao Kuang is a big example. If Ao Kuang executes you, you get hit in the dragon, he eats you. Scares blocking does not bring you back to life. You're still dead. And then fixed building going include that even though it didn't actually fire. That happens even a lot with like Serket's ult. which really sucks. So Natha just updated some sounds with her skin. Poseidon is Kraken, improved team color for Kraken so you can see it a little bit better. Just know where the circles are on the ground and things like that. The Rat, fixed tier 1 acorn not showing up in scoreboard. No biggie. Through the Cosmos, improved team color of your tree. Cool, they can see it better. Same thing. The Vamana pass is pretty cool. Now has a passive meter. What that means is Vamana, every time he takes damage, I believe it scales up to 10 seconds, is the length that his ult will last in terms of length. So let's say it lasts 10 seconds to start. If you do damage, it can last up a total of another 10 seconds. And will give him protections every time he takes damage. There was no number for this. Now that there's a number, you'll have a good idea of when your ult's going to be up, what you're looking at in terms of how much you can pressure, if you can re-engage, if you want to disengage because of that. A little bit of changes to Xingtian, or however it's pronounced. Pretty much general, they just added words that were missing, updated non-English translations. Okay. Furious Roar, they decreased the dot duration, which therefore means he will do more damage a little bit quicker, but they also reduce his damage in whole by doing 4% every 1 second opposed to 2.5% every 5 seconds. So it's a damage decrease and the damage doesn't happen as consistently. The reason why they put it every second, I think, is just to go along with this. So this is a buff, this is a nerf, sort of balance things out. Whirlwind of Rage and Steel. Targets on enemy crowd control while grabbed. That's good. If you're in your ult and then they get Medusa ulted while they're in your ult, sort of sucks. Increased warp time from 0.6 seconds to 0.75 gives you another little bit of time to get out of that ult. Big decreased damage though. They pretty much cut it into a third. So before you do 3 spins, I believe, and after every spin you're going to take increasing damage. The base damage starting, it used to be at 50, 75, 100, 125, 150. That's a third of all of them, going only up to 55 damage. But now the increase to spin, you'll do more damage the longer you're in it. So if you get spun around once, we'll say you take times 2 damage to 15, you take 30 damage plus, of course, it scales, things along those lines. You can beat it. The longer you spin around, the more damage you're going to take. So beats are going to be crucial for that. Again, he's still going to be very strong. I still think he's going to end up in the solo role a lot once he's released, but I do expect him to play quite a lot. He's sort of like a Sobek. Zeus has a completely new kit. It's finally time. His kit was so outdated. It was for really when Smite was in beta, if not alpha. And big changes to really his 2 more than anything. Chain Lightning, which is his 1 ability, it bounces a little bit quicker, so you'll get stacks up quicker. It's a good. It reduced the damage because the stacks are stacking quicker, which is fine. It didn't really do that much damage anyway. Your Chain Lightning's really just for the stacks for your 3. And increased the cooldown from 8 seconds to 10 seconds. 2 seconds, okay. But now it also applies a 30% slow to targets for 2 seconds. That's big, allows you to maybe get some autos in if they're turning around and running away. It's a good buff to the Chain Lightning, and the 30% is worth a 2-second increase. The new ability here is Aegis Assault. That would be his 2. Before his 2 would just perform a lightning shield. If someone hit you, they would get a lightning shield stack, or sorry, like a lightning ring around them. So now that's finally been changed because that was so outdated. He would just get blown up. You can now throw a shield forward. It does damage and it does magical power boost, which is fine. The shield remains, and then it will apply the shield to the enemy. The shield remains for 3 seconds, and Zeus may be hit with basic attacks or Chain Lightning to deal an additional damage. So if you hit them with your shield, not only are you doing, we'll say, 260, plus whatever magical power you have built up at that time, which is going to be quite strong, that every time you hit a basic attack or Chain Lightning, you're going to get another 50 damage plus basic attack damage. It's a lot of damage going out. He's going to be a really bursty tune, and that's even before the detonate charge, and you're going to be stacking along this whole time. So this is really turning into a big booster. Detonate charge no longer slows you 3 stacks on a target because the slow is coming from Chain Lightning, which is much better because you didn't really want to use your detonate charge for a slow, because then at that time all your damage is done anyway. You're not going to get 3 more stacks. Lightning Storms is no longer rooted while casting this ability. It's great. It finally needed to happen. You can just cast it and keep running. It's important to keep Zeus's mobility high. Zeus as a whole will do tons of damage. He's sort of going to be a little bit like an Alposh in terms of the damage he can output, but not very much survivability. But he'll be a fun guy to play. And then Zonkui had extended lines for the standard voice pack. And that's pretty much it. Not a hefty patch, no new god. But just keep in mind in terms of the ADCs, Deathbringer is being changed, but that's no biggie. You're still going to build it as your last item. You shouldn't have built Blink anyway as a hunter, but if you did because you're really far ahead or you want to be super aggressive, you're probably not going to do that anymore. It's too long of a cooldown. And other than that, everything else pretty much is the same. If you guys like the video or you want to see more, please come drop a subscribe on the YouTube channel. Definitely come with more videos. Going to come out with a little bit more insightful videos on how you can ADC or win your lane better, things along those lines. And also going to start a series in terms of working the way to Masters and how you can go about doing that. Check out my Twitch, drop a follow on there as well. I go live, I try and go live almost every day, get content out. I do have a schedule down there as well, Monday to Friday, so you guys can come check me out there. Follow the Twitter, I always tweet out when I go live, and I hope to see you guys again. Hope to see you in the next video. Cheers guys, have a great day.